Hi again, we're in the third video. We're going to talk now about relation between remarkable angles. First of all, a relation between alpha and minus alpha. So this is the xy axis, this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. This is trigonometric circle. As you can see, suppose here I have alpha positive up, minus alpha, it will be the same angle but in the negative side, okay, minus. As you can see, if this is alpha and this is here minus alpha, so we can say that OC is cosine of alpha, and OC, this is angle here minus alpha, is cosine minus alpha, the abscissa. So as you can see, these two are equal. So cosine alpha equal cosine minus alpha. And for sine, here this is the sine, and this is the sine of minus alpha. You can realize here that they are equal because the triangles are congruent, but opposite sign, because the first sign is in the first quadrant and the sign down in the second quadrant, and sign up is positive, sign down is negative. So from now and on, cosine minus alpha is cosine alpha, sine minus alpha is minus sine alpha. Tangent follow sine over cosine, so minus over plus is minus tangent alpha. So directly, no need to memorize anything. So if you have alpha and minus alpha, alpha here, minus alpha here, so they have the same cosine. So cosine minus alpha equal cosine alpha, but they have opposite signs. So sine minus alpha is minus sine alpha. And tangent, it follows, then minus over plus is minus, so minus tangent alpha. Alpha and pi minus alpha. If this is alpha, this is pi, take out minus alpha. So as you can see here, this is alpha and this is pi minus alpha. So if you take these two triangle, so this is the abscissa cosine alpha sine alpha, theta here, we're writing it theta, but let us say it alpha. Here, this angle is pi minus alpha, cosine and sine. You can see that here the cosine is the projection here, and here the cosine. So the two are the same because the triangles are congruent, but cosine pi minus alpha is opposite sign. However, they have the same sign. So sine pi minus alpha is sine alpha, and tangent pi minus alpha is minus tangent alpha. If you have alpha, and this is theta, let us say theta, theta and pi plus theta, so diametrically opposite. So these two triangles are congruent because this angle is equal. You have angle 90, here you have angle 90, and radius 1, radius 1. So as you can see, this is the cosine of theta, this is cosine pi plus theta. So they are equal but opposite sign, and same for sine. This is sine theta and this is sine pi minus theta. They are equal, pi plus theta, they are equal but opposite sign. So what we can realize if you add plus pi or we subtract pi. If you add pi or minus pi, nothing will change. So cosine will remain cosine, sine will remain sine, tangent will remain tangent. What differs if it's plus or minus? For example, let us take an example to understand. Suppose I said what is tangent. For example, 3 pi plus alpha. Suppose this is alpha in the first quadrant. 3 pi plus alpha, 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. Odd number of pi, we said it's here. Plus alpha at this angle. So directly, first of all, it's tangent alpha because I'm adding pi. If I'm adding pi, nothing will change. Positive or negative. Here, tangent was positive in the first quadrant. In this quadrant, tangent is what? That because sine is negative, cosine is negative, so it will be minus over minus. So here a plus. So tangent alpha. If you want to find, for example, cosine minus 5 pi plus alpha. Because I have cosine and I'm adding pi, even or odd number of pi, so it's cosine alpha, but I don't know if it's cosine positive or negative. So I draw a trigonometric circle. Odd number of pi is here. Positive you move like this, negative you move like this. Odd number of pi is here. Plus you move down, minus you move up. So since this is minus 5 pi, I have a plus, so I must move down. Let us move down here. Here in this quadrant, cosine is positive or negative. So here it's negative, so I put minus. And that's how we're going to solve this. We're going to see it in application in a while. However, if you add relation between alpha and pi over 2 minus alpha. Suppose this is alpha, this is pi over 290 minus alpha. You can see these two triangles are equal. We can realize that the cosine here of alpha is sine pi over 2 minus alpha. And the cosine and the sine of alpha, this measure here, is the cosine of pi over 2 minus alpha. So when you add pi over 2, cosine will be sine, sine will be cosine, secant will be cosecant, cosecant will be secant, cotangent will be tangent, and tangent will be cotangent. Because all they are in the first quadrant, so everything is positive. Or if we have pi over 2 plus alpha, nothing will change. Cosine will be sine, sine will be cosine, tangent will be cotangent, secant, cosecant, cosecant, secant, and cotangent, tangent. But what differs? If you take cosine pi over 2 plus alpha, this is pi over 2 plus alpha. Cosine here is what? As you all know, it's negative. So it will be minus sine alpha. Sine pi over 2 plus alpha, this is pi over 2, positive, you move like this, plus alpha. Sine here is positive, so it will be cosine. Why? Because we have pi over 2, sine will be cosine. Tangent will be minus, because plus over minus is minus. Secant will be minus cosecant, cosecant, secant, and cotangent, tangent. So now we're not going to memorize. We're not memorizing in trigonometry. So we're going to do it to understand it by ourselves without memorizing. Suppose we talked about periodicity. If you add for cosine and sine to k pi, even number of pi, you can cancel. But for tangent, even and odd, you can cancel. Application problem. All we need to do is to, when we want to simplify, we draw a trigonometric circle. You have 3 pi minus x. In tangent, even and odd number of pi you can cancel. In cotangent, similarly. Here we have pi over 2, here we have pi over 2. If you don't want to cancel, and if you don't want, even number of pi is here, odd number of pi is here. So you have 3 pi minus x, so pi, positive upward, negative, you go like this, positive, negative, you go backward. So I have pi minus x. Because minus you go up, you're here. Because I have pi, tangent will remain tangent. Here tangent, let us put the pluses for only the tangent and cotangent, because sine is the y-axis and cosine. So here tangent, cotangent positive, here tangent, cotangent negative. So pi minus x, minus I go upward, from here I go up. So in this quadrant, tangent is negative, so I put minus. Here cancel, cotangent x is cotangent x, nothing to talk about. Because I have pi over 2, I cannot simplify the 2. Directly sine will be cosine. Directly sine will be cosine. But I want to see this sine. I have 3 90s, then minus x. 190, 3 pi over 2. 1, 290, 390. Then I have minus x. Minus I move backwards. So 190, 290, 390. If I had plus x, I go like this. But because minus, this arrow, you can see it here clockwise. So I'm here. Here the sign is, as you can see, the y-axis is negative. So minus times minus, it will be positive. Here also I have pi over 2. So cosine will be, sorry, cosine here must be sine. Sorry for this mistake. This is sine. Okay, this is sine x. I want to know the sine of x. So I go, this is negative, minus 7 pi over 2, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm here. I have a plus, I move backwards, so I'm here. Cosine here, as you all know, is negative, because the x-axis is negative. Minus and minus, so it will be plus sine x. So the answer will be minus tangent x plus cotangent x plus cosine x plus sine x. Now here, before we start, tangent will be cotangent. Oh my God, these mistakes. Cotangent, xy cotangent, because I have pi over 2. Cotangent will be cotangent because it's pi. Sine will be cosine y because I have pi over 2. Second step, I see if it's a plus or negative. I have 9 pi over 2, so positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4 is 8. I have 9 pi over 2, so here 9 pi over 2. If I had the plus, I continue to the front. Minus, I go backward. So here tangent is positive, so here plus cotangent x. Now, cotangent minus 13 pi, this is the odd, right? Minus, I go up. So here, you move like this, clockwise. So here the cotangent, as you know, it's minus, as you can see here. Minus and minus, so it will be plus. Here sine, I said, because I have pi over 2 will be cosine. So 5 pi over 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus I continue. Sine here, as you know, the y-axis is positive, so plus cosine x. Now, tangent 23 pi, you can cancel because even and odd pi. If you forgot, please, odd is here. Plus x tangent pi plus x. So here my plus for tangent and cotangent minus. So this will be as it is. Minus 5 pi, even I can cancel. If not, this is minus pi. Plus, you go also down. Plus, because you move counterclockwise. Also, it is positive here. I have pi over 2. Directly, sine will be cosine. But I want to know the sign. I have minus 1190. Pi over 2 is 90. Minus 11. Minus 4. Minus 8. Minus 9. Minus 10. Minus 11 is here. I have minus x, so I continue negative because negative clockwise. So here sign is positive, first quadrant, and plus times minus because you have minus, it will be cosine x. I have 11 pi over 2, so directly because I have pi over 2, I cannot cancel 2. So cosine will be sine. 11, 4, positive, sense, 8, 9, 10, 11, I'm here. I have minus, so I move backward. Here the cosine is negative because the x-axis is negative. Minus and minus, it will be plus. So here. The last one, I have pi over 2, tangent will be cotangent. I have minus 27. So I move backward. Multiple of 4 of pi over 2. So 24 multiple of 4. 24 minus 25 minus 26 minus 27. Then I have a plus x. I move counterclockwise. So here tangent is minus and minus, it will be positive. Another example, 50 pi, you can cancel it, or minus pi, directly tangent minus x is negative, or minus pi minus x, you move upward because clockwise, so minus and minus is positive. Minus 21 pi here is odd. Plus x, you move to downward because positive here. Here cosine is negative minus. Cosine will not change because I'm adding pi. Here, because I'm adding pi over 2, sine will be cosine. Minus 13 here, minus 12 because multiple of 4. Minus 13 is here. Minus x, I continue negative. Here sine is negative, so it will be minus 2 cosine x. Cosecant is like sine because the inverse of sine, middle is s. Cosecant, because I have pi over 2, it will be secant. Minus 7, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. I continue minus, I'm in the first quadrant. Everything is positive. Positive times negative is negative. Here I have pi over 2 cotangent, it will be tangent. Here I have pi, tangent will remain tangent. Pi over 2 sine will be cosine. Pi over 2 cosine will be, sorry, here sine. Sorry for these mistakes, because it takes a lot of time to prepare. So sometimes I feel somehow tired, so that's why I do some mistakes. Anyway, I want to find this sign. I have minus 3 pi over 2, 1, 2, 3. Then plus x to the front. So here cotangent is minus, so I put minus 3 tangent. Here minus 5 pi cancel, or minus pi minus x is here. Tangent here is negative, negative and negative positive. Here minus 17, so minus 16 pi over 2 is here, multiple of 4. Minus 17, you go here, plus you go backward. Sign here is, as you can see, the y is negative. So sign is negative, so it will be minus 2 cosine. Here, minus 5 pi over 2, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 5 over 2 minus x. So cosine here is negative, minus and minus, it will be plus 3 sine x. And you can check this by yourself. You can do it. You have the answers. Okay, these are simplifying and remarkable angle. The video that we're going to this is the third video. The fourth video will be about formulas of basic formula of trigonometric function. See you in the fourth video. Thank you for listening.